Check it,
No
yo.
question.
Hey, yo, what's the 411, hun?
What's the 411, hun?
I got it going on,
Hey, yo, I
hun.
got it going on, hun.
What's the 411, hun?
What's the 411, hun?
I got it going on.
Hey, yo, I got it going on.
Federal prosecutors call this the biggest case of college admissions fraud that they've ever handled. And of those 50 people that have been arrested, that includes 33 parents and the college coaches they're accused of bribing. The colleges are some of America's most elite and hardest to get into, including Yale, Georgetown, and Stanford. The FBI says 8 universities in all unwittingly admitted students with phony athletic records or inflated test scores paid for by their parents' bribes.
We believe all of them, parents, coaches, and facilitators, lied, cheated, and covered up their crimes at the expense of hardworking students and taxpayers everywhere.
Among those charged, Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman, Full House actress Lori Loughlin, corporate CEOs, and high-priced lawyers. The FBI says a California man arranged it all, William Singer, who ran a college prep business.
I understand the stress the college admissions process can put on your family.
He pleaded guilty Tuesday to accepting a total of $25 million to get students admitted as athletes, even though many had never even played a sport. Singer says he used some of that money to bribe coaches, who put the applicants into their designated admission slots and kept the rest of the money for himself. Singer also admitted paying test proctors to let someone else take a student's admissions exams, like the SAT, to pump up their scores. Prosecutors say parents disguised their payments to Singer as contributions to a charity he ran, so they could even deduct the payments on their taxes.
We're not talking about donating a building so that a school's more likely to take your son or daughter. We're talking about deception and fraud.
And prosecutors say more charges against more parents are possible as the investigation goes on.
Check it, yo.
No question.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl, your demonologist, Lady Mocha, here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where you know I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Well, if you have not heard the 411, y'all, in today's white-collar crime news, everybody, it has been brought to everyone's attention that actresses have been charged in college admissions cheating scheme in the clip that was just displayed before I go into this commentary. Y'all, I'm telling you, it just goes to show you, honey, you can be a crook on any level. You don't have to be just somebody staying in the projects to be a crook. You ain't got to be somebody on low income to be a crook. Guess what? We have crooks on the upper scale too, honey, because like I said, it just goes to show you, honey, for some of us, it'll just never be enough. It'll never be enough. You have some people, no matter how much money they got, no matter how much success they got, they still going to try to find a way to get around beating the system. And that is exactly what happened in this case. And even the Bible tells you that. The Bible tells you those who have money, those who love money, shall never have enough of it. In other words, they're going to always want more. And that is the God's honest truth, because you would think when somebody reaches a certain level in life financially, you know, they can afford homes, they could afford purchasing a business, they could afford doing, you know, all type of things that the average family can't always afford to do, that they would be satisfied and they would just walk a clean slate. But that is not always the case. Some people just get more greedier, and that is exactly what happened with Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. And there's no telling how many other celebrities that's been caught up in this scam is going to be revealed, y'all. I'm telling you, what's done in the dark, it will come to light, y'all. So on that note, it has been stated there are a total of 50 people nationwide that were charged in the largest college admissions scam ever, prosecuted by the Department of Justice. Those arrested include exam administrators, coaches at elite schools, and nearly 36 parents. Child, I tell y'all, honey, listen. These folks that we admire, that's why I be telling y'all, stop admiring these celebrities. Stop worshiping these rich folks. Stop hating on people who got money, because you don't know what they are doing behind closed doors to get the stuff that they got. Now, it was been so bad to the point that these celebrities that have been caught up in this scam so badly, want their children to be accepted in the elite colleges like Harvard, like Yale, these top-notch universities were only the best of the best. You have to meet certain requirements to get into these type of universities. It's not like enrolling to a community college or a local university. Too much is given, too much is required. And when it comes to these type of schools like Yale and Harvard, they will only take the best of the best. And their tuition is hella high. I've been in college for years and I'm already feeling some type of way with all the student loans I'm gonna have to pay back. So honey, I can only imagine. But most of the time, most of the students that go there, their parents already have the money anyway. So I don't even think those universities even take student loans. They probably don't even take loans. They probably do. I don't know. But however, that's besides the point. Basically, you have these rich folks who got money, who's already well off, who's not in the struggle like us, and they cannot even genuinely get their children enrolled into a college the genuine way. I mean, instead of them paying, tutorers that can professionally, teach their kids all the academics they need in order to successfully get in these schools legitimately, they decide to pay Felicity Huffman. She's an actress on the show Desperate Housewives. That was before Atlanta Housewives reality show came out. Don't mix those two up. That's not the same thing. She was actually on a show. I think it was on Lifetime or TLC. I can't remember what it was called. Desperate Housewives. I think that's where Bravo got the spin off and doing a reality show for it. But anyway, she is one of the main head honchos in charge. She was the one who was hooking up with these celebrities. And basically, what the celebrities would do is say, hey, I want my son, I want my daughter to be able to go be enrolled in Yale University. But in order to get in those type of colleges, you have to meet certain criteria. And the criteria they expect are pretty hard to reach unless you're somebody that have a hellified ass high IQ. So we know the money wasn't the issue. That just goes to show y'all how strict the requirements for these type of universities are, because think about it, they got the money. We know these celebrities, they have the money. They could afford to put their children in these universities. But see how it works with Harvard and Yale and these other elite school universities. No, your money is just not enough to get you in, boo-boo. You're going to have to show that you have a certain amount of scores to where we could accept you and even allow you to enroll into our university. So that just goes to show you this is just how high the demands are in order to even become a student at these elite schools, okay? They don't want your money. You got to come correct with some legitimate high IQ test scores, okay? So what these parents decided, because they got the money, well, I'm not going to pay a tutor to teach my child the right way so they can get so they can have all the abilities and the knowledge they need in order to pass to reach a certain amount of score where they can get into these schools legitimately. I'm just going to cut corners and pay somebody to rig up my child's test scores, to rig up their records, to make everything look copacetic on there. That way I can get my child enrolled in the best of the best. And make it so bad. These parents would have been the same parents, y'all, that would have been on Facebook or social media bragging, oh, Sarah is top-notch, what they call it, top-notch high honor roll. She made Dean's List at Harvard University. Would have been sit up there lying their ass off, knowing good damn well they paid somebody to rig their child's test scores to get in these so-called high supreme universities. These are the same parents, I guarantee you, that would have been bragging, acting like their child so all of that and their child so smart. I tell y'all, when you have $1, you can do all kind of things. And this is what a lot of rich people But this is how a lot of rich people, people with money get exposed. And I'm not saying everybody that's rich is scandalous or have crook tendencies. But what I'm saying is people with money, the problem is a lot of them think they can buy their way into everything. And I get it. Sometimes we want to cut corners. Hell, we don't want to work out in the gym when I could pay a surgeon $1 million to flatten my tummy and to, remove all the wrinkles out of my face. I mean, I get it, but that's the problem. Money will make people pay for things that is not even necessary to pay for. I do not understand for the life of me. If you have all of this money, why not pay for your child to get a private tutorer or get one of the best tutorers? Send your child to another school that can work with them in areas that they're weak in, that they would need more help in order to be eligible to be enrolled in these type of schools. But no, y'all want to cut corners, and I get it. But my thing is, I understand it more for people who are in the struggle, because people like us, things don't come to us easy. So if there's a way where we could cut corners to make it to the next level, so we can get to that place to where we don't have to become crooks, I get it. People from the bottom, we have to do what we have to do. But I'm disappointed for the fact that these people who are already financially well off, don't have to worry about mortgage, don't have to worry about water bill, don't have to worry about light bill. That's the least of their worries. The fact that they still think they have an advantage, they're using money to their advantage to pay for their children, to get in these high elite top notch universities. And I think that speaks volumes as far as you are just greedy. You're greedy, because my thing is, it's other students who had to go to that school, and a couple of them on the interview said it. Like, hell, my parents couldn't pay to get my scores rigged. My parents couldn't pay somebody to get me in and change my records and change my academics on my documents. I had to work my ass off. I had to study. I had to, probably struggle working at a burger joint, you know what I mean, to just pay for the application and even get into school. It's people who have had to basically struggle and fight to get in the doors. And how dare you, all you got to do is pay your way and to get on what you want. Well, the grits had hit the fan, and that's why what you do in the dark will come out in the light. And that's exactly what happened. When I say this thing is so big, y'all, it is big. Not only did Felicity Huffman catch a lot of heat, there's also 9 coaches who are facing federal charges. SAT, ACT administrators who are also facing charges. Exam proctors, college administrators, honey. And they said the main man behind the scheme, his name is Mr. William Singer. He's the CEO of college admissions prep company called The Key. Mr. Singer pleaded guilty to 4 charges Tuesday and admitted that everything the prosecutor accused him of is true. Okay. Singer disguised bribe payments as charitable contributions to the Key Worldwide Foundation. As y'all can see, some of these parents, everybody was making a lot of loot off the scam. That's the thing about scams, y'all. Scams run out. Scams run out. And the bad part is sometimes scams get exposed. So some of the parents have paid between $15,000 and $75,000 per test to help their children get a better score. In some cases, parents allegedly took part in Singer's scheme to bribe college coaches and athletic officials. One of those parents that got caught up in that trap was actress Lori Loughlin. She was actually locked up. She was arrested, and she was released at a $1 million bond. And that's the thing, y'all. The more money you got, baby, when they do catch you, they be trying to rip you a new butthole, okay? Ain't like when Pookie got caught stealing some weed out of Baby house or whatever. Worse his bond gonna be, it's probably like $500. But honey, one thing about these millionaires, they stand a lot to lose when they get caught up in stuff, because the federal government don't be playing, honey. They make your bonds set at bail bond be set at millions. They come confiscating your houses, your cars. See, us poor folks, honey, we ain't got to worry about that, honey, because the worst they gonna take from us is our rent-a-center furniture, child. That's the worst that we're going to be taken. But honey, in all due respect, this is not a laughing matter. But your girl Lori Loughlin, if y'all remember the show Full House, remember Uncle Jesse, because that used to be my favorite show back in the day. The one that played as Aunt Becky, she was the mother of the twins that her and Uncle Jesse supposedly had together in a sitcom. Well, she is one of those parents that was paying Felicity Huffman and all of these coaches. She was one of the parents underneath. She was involved in the dirt. She was paying money for them to alter her daughter's records. That way they can get accepted in these high Ivy League schools like Harvard and Yale. Her bond was set at $1 million. She turned herself into authorities this morning after she was charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud for her role in the college admission scam. She will be allowed to travel for work within the U.S. and British Columbia, but she will not be required to surrender her passport in December. Her husband, fashion designer Massimo, whatever the hell his last name is, Giannoli, appeared in federal court Tuesday on the same charges. So her husband is in on it too. Not surprised. Usually when the wife's doing something dirty, the husband's in on it. Or when the husband's doing something dirty, the wives is in on it, you know. So that's why I don't get when somebody's husband or wife gets caught up in a scam. They could say, "Oh, I didn't know. I had no clue." Child, bye. Yes, you did. Okay, Andrea Kelly, but that's another story. Moving on, Laughlin and her husband allegedly agreed to pay bribes totaling $500,000 to have their daughters designated as a recruits of the university. Let me see. She has to appear in court on the 29th. University of Texas fires tennis coach. Tennis coach got fired for conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honor services mail fraud. Honey, it's just a mess. Y'all can look more into all of this on YouTube. It's all over, so I'm not going to repeat the whole story. But y'all get what's going on here. The purpose of me doing this content, y'all, is to just let you know that it just goes to show you what you do in the dark will come out in the light. Even if you are rich, don't think your money is going to always cover up your dirt. Don't think your fame, don't think your notoriety is going to always, compensate for the dirt that you're doing behind closed doors. This is not a laughing matter. I think that is very sad that you have some parents, they want so badly for their children to be so successful that they're willing to scheme their way into getting their children to get into these high Ivy League schools when all they had to do was, guess what? Your child is still going to be successful whether they have a college degree from Harvard, whether they have a college degree from Yale. The bottom line is, as long as they are successful, that is all that matters. For one, y'all are rich, so y'all are already in the door. To me, more so average people who are not that well known, I can kind of see their reasoning for wanting to try to get into the best of the best, because when you have no clout and you have no connections, you have to basically find other strategies to get in through the door because you don't have any other connections. But the whole part that's disturbing about these situations, these people, they all are celebrities. They all are well off. They all connect with one another. You know what I mean? It shouldn't have never had to resort to the point to where they had to scheme and pull off such a massive scandal to the point to where they had to take it this far to scam and, scheme and come up with all of these, malicious ass tactics to get their children to the best of the best schools. You mean to tell me all of y'all rich folks, y'all don't know, the CEO of Harvard, of Yale, who you could have talked to and tried to make some type of arrangements with? I mean, it's so many ways that they could have benefited in getting their children to the best of the best schools, because they already have the title, they already have the money, they already have the clout. So I really don't understand what was the purpose of them having to alter records and change things, unless the only thing I can see is that Harvard and Yale is so damn strict that you're not going to be able to be enrolled even into their school coming in half stepping. So probably what it was, Harvard and Yale, as I mentioned before, their requirements were so strict. It's not one of those schools where you can just go in and say, oh, well, I'm the daughter of professional basketball player Michael Jordan, or I'm the son of, I'm the grandson of Elvis Presley. In other words, your notoriety. So I guess I could commend Yale and Harvard for being stern on that, and not only just letting rich folks get up in there, but you have to actually have the IQ, the knowledge, to back up on your record, on your documentation, that you are eligible enough to be able to enroll into this type of school. You know what I mean? So I can give them props on that, because that would have put us, us struggling folks in a disadvantage, being that we don't know rich people. So these folks knew, even with all their notoriety and their fame, Harvard and Yale was not going to play with them. Hey, do you have good scores? Do you have high grades? Do you have the academic requirements? If not, we're not even going to consider you. So that is the reason why these rich folks rigged up this big old scheme, because half of them, the majority of them, knew that. The sad part is this: you obviously didn't have no confidence in your daughters or your sons. If you had to pay somebody to rig up their test scores, to get them in, to rig up their SATs and all of that, that means you don't have no confidence in your children. That means my son, my daughter is too dumb to make it into a high Ivy League school. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pay somebody some thousands to rig up their scores and make it look like they smart, because I really don't think they're not. That is the part they're not understanding. That lets me know that Lori Loughlin and to all of these other celebrities up here, that just goes to show y'all, money can't buy intelligence. Money can't buy being smart, smartness or intelligence or whatever. Either you have it or you don't. Intelligence cannot be bought or paid for. You cannot put intelligence on the layaway, okay? It's as simple as that. So a lot of these rich parents, they knew their children were really not cut out to be in these type of high Ivy League schools. This is the reason why they had to pay somebody to change their scores, because there's been a couple of celebrities like Tatiana Ali. She played as Ashley on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She was at Harvard. A lot of them got in Harvard, and their parents didn't scheme to get them in the best of schools. I have a nephew. Well, he could have got into Yale because he had the grades to do it, but he didn't feel like no bougie ass colleges. He said, "No, I'm just gonna go to Morehouse. I ain't trying to do no Yale or no Harvard." And my aunt and my uncle, they got the bread, but he was like, "I'm good. Let me go to Morehouse. Let me go do this." You know what I mean? So he's happy at his university. So like I said, it's people that's getting into these big Ivy League schools every day, and they're not scheming and they're not plotting. But this is what money does to people. Money gives you a sense of entitlement. Money makes you feel like, why should I have to study when all I got to do is pay somebody to do my work for me? Money just gives people a sense of entitlement, and I get it. Because there's been times, on a simple level, like, I do my own hair for a living. I don't pay salons. I just think they're too expensive, and then some of them, they don't do that great of a job for what you be paying for. So I do my own hair a lot. And every once in a while, it's been times I would get my nice little chunk of change, come in, from my school, and be like, you know what? I ain't even trying to do my hair today. I'm going to pay somebody to do it. Because, see, money just gives you that feeling of complacency where you're just not as driven. As for somebody who has no money, you're more driven because you have no options. And there's been times I didn't have no money, and I know I wanted my hair done. I'm like, I'm tired as hell, but let me get up, let me braid my hair, let me, just on a simple level. It's no different if you're a guy and you know how to do mechanic work on the vehicle. And if you're in a position and you got a little bit of extra change or something going on with your vehicle, you're like, you know what, I'm going to just pay somebody to go ahead and, change my fuel pump or whatever. I'm not bothering with it. But if you have no money and you need that car fixed because you got to go to work, guess what? You're going to take that whole day to work on that goddamn car yourself. You're going to buy the parts. You're going to take your time because you have no money. You have no other options. And that's what I do like about the struggle, y'all. The struggle keeps you in check. The struggle makes you realize that You know, you have to do things different. Versus somebody who's used to having money and not used to having a struggle. You're going to constantly cut corners. And I'm not saying all rich people do this, because you got some rich people who work for every goddamn dime. They don't scheme, they don't lie, they don't plot. But what I'm saying is sometimes money has a way of making you lazy. It makes you less motivated, because you know in your mind it's just a self-conscious thing. You know, I don't have to do that. I got the money. Why I'm going to pay to do this? Why I'm gonna go and deal with it when I could just pay somebody else to do it? You know, I get it. You know, sometimes, you know, when we don't have the money, my husband, he'll cut the grass in the lawn. He'll cut the lawn himself when he don't have the money to pay somebody. But on those days when he's paid, like, you know what? Babe, go ahead or call so-and-so to come over here and cut the grass, because I don't have time to do it. I mean, that's just a thing about money, you know, but you have to be careful that you don't allow money to consume you to the point that it will cause you to make, very bad decisions, as these parents did in this case, and also as Felicity Huffman, who was in on this scheme, collecting all of these fees and collecting all this money. And the thing about it is, I'm sure the scheme was so addicting. I'm sure once people got hip to it, more and more and more people was paying for their kids to get into these Ivy League schools. So I'm sure everybody profited well. I'm sure everybody was making money. The coaches was making money. The administrators, everybody was making money. Everybody was doing well. But as we all say, all good things come to an end. And all it takes, sometimes you have to realize, when it comes to a scheme is like a ball rolling down the hill. You know, it may roll and roll for a very long time, but the bigger that ball becomes, the harder it's going to be to to keep, you know, doing it undercoverly. You know, and I think that's what happened. So many parents started coming forth and they got hip to the scheme, and so many parents was paying staff members, paying coaches. I think it just got so big and out of hand, because once everybody got the word, oh, all I got to do is pay so and so and so, and I can get my child into Harvard, into Yale. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna do this. Nine times I tell you, you know, when these rich people, they have their little luncheons together. When Becky sits down with Hillary, oh, you know what? I don't know if you heard, but if you are interested in getting little Billy enrolled into Yale University, I have a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend that can possibly help you to be able to get little Billy into Yale University. Oh, really, Hillary? Wow. Well, who can I talk to? Because I've been trying to get Billy into Yale and for years, and I've also tried to get him into Harvard, and they will not accept him. And I don't understand why they will not accept my son. You know, he has a high honors, and they still, you know, rejected him and said he's not eligible. Well, you know what? Rest assured, Becky, I have it all under control. I can give you this number to so-and-so who works over here. All you have to do is pay X amount of fee, and they can do whatever it is you need them to do to get your son Billy into the high Ivy League schools. You know, that's what happens. Connections of connections of connections. And sooner or later, when it comes to schemes, when it comes to plot, somebody gets out of pocket. Either somebody gets greedy and wants more money, or either somebody gets mad because they're not getting money and they see other people getting the money, so they'll snitch or throw something under the bus, somebody under the bus. Or it's always, when you have a big ring like that, somebody is going to mess up and cause you to get exposed. You know what I mean? If you're going to do something dirty, if you're going to rob the bank by your damn self. When you start putting other people on, you start adding other people in the equation, that is how things get out of hand. I've learned that from personal experience. If you're going to do dirt by yourself, do it by yourself. And I just think this was one of those things. It just got out of hand. Too many people got hip to it. And it's always that one self-righteous person that will find something immoral and want to report it. This is dishonest. This is dishonest. We can't let people get away with this. I tell you, honey, it's not just black people that be turning on black people, okay? White people, they do it with each other too, okay? Okay, let's not just make it seem like, oh, black people, we always throwing each other under the bus. We always snitching. Let me tell you something. They do it too. All right, they just do it different from us, okay? They don't be as loud and evident with it. One thing what I do like about them, and I'm not saying this to be racial, but I have to give white people credit when they do decide to cut each other and you know, throw each other up under the bus. They do it discreetly. They don't do it loud. They don't even threaten. They don't even threaten each other. They don't even say, well, I'm going to tell them about your shady investments. They just will politely still have lunch with their arch enemy, still go to their arch enemies conferences, and will still work with them and everything. And all the while, underneath, they've already reported them to higher authorities who already know people, who already know people, who know people. They do it too. People is people. We need to get out of this only white people or only black people. Let me tell you something. Anytime you start doing well in something and you're succeeding, somebody ain't gonna like it. Okay? Somebody's not gonna like it, and they gonna throw you up under the goddamn bus. That's people, period. Everybody don't want to see everybody win. Everybody doesn't want to see anybody succeed, you know. So I'm sure, because I don't know any other races that, you know, was in that situation. And, you know, and I'm not going to be unfair and say that, because it's blacks that also go to Yale and go to, you know, Harvard. So that's a stereotypical statement. So I would not say that. That sounds a little, bias or whatever. So disregard that. But basically what I'm saying is, you know, just because you have the money to pay your way through stuff, you have to be careful getting involved in these schemes, getting involved in these plots, because it could come back to haunt you. And that's exactly what happened. And the sad part is, there's going to be more celebrities that are going to be exposed. And I know half of them are hiding under their tables right now, like, oh my goodness, I pray they don't say my name. This just has opened a can of worms, because what's going to happen is, now Yale or Harvard may go back and look into every record that has come through there now, and probably going to investigate and research to see if every student got it legitimately. But my husband, on the other hand, when I told him, I asked my husband, I said, do you think Yale or Harvard is going to go all the way back now and start investigating every student, other students that got enrolled? My husband's intake was, he don't think so, because it's a lot of money that's been invested, and Harvard and Yale not going to lose no money. My husband don't think they're going to go that far back. He said no, because that's too much money involved. They ain't going to have to pay that money back, whatever. So, you know, I don't know. What's y'all intake on that? Do y'all think this is going to get more and more out of hand, or you think they're going to pretty much just, whoever's been caught at this moment, they're just going to make examples out of them? Or do you think they're going to go all the way back? You know, so I'm interested in knowing, how far do y'all think this is going to go? This is a very sad and unfortunate situation, but guess what? You know, we all know when it comes to schemes does run out. Okay, so on that note, definitely leave your opinion to the bottom. Leave your comment. Let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think it's going to get bigger, or do you think it's just going to be one of those things? Okay, we caught you. You know, we're going to sweep it up under the rug and not talk about it no more. Because you know how that goes, okay? So give me your opinion on that. Also, I'm doing 2 different seminars. I got the Baby Mama Drama Seminar. I posted it on my community post. If y'all are interested, guys, if you're interested in attending my Baby Mama Drama Seminar course, please hit me up on my email. I'm trying to get at least 8 guys, or if I at least get 5 guys. Remember, it's $25 donation. I will be chatting with you personally. It won't be live for everybody to view it. It'll just be me and you and whatever other guys that may be in the chat room if you're interested. Ladies, I also am doing a course for those of you who are stepmothers, those of you who are in relationships with men that have kids from toxic baby mamas. I'm also doing a seminar for y'all. I'm currently signing 5 ladies up at this moment in time. You got questions, you need guidance with your situation. Maybe you're going through some baby mama drama with your husband's ex-wife or the mother of his kids, and you're feeling discombobulated, you're frustrated. Trust me, believe me, I have all the answers. Look no further. And it's only $25. And what the donation does is it helps me to expand my brand. I'm ready to get a better microphone. I'm ready to change my back room into a studio so I can start giving everybody better quality of my content. Okay, so on that note, y'all, it is your girl, Lady Mocha, and don't forget to make sure you hit that like button and share and subscribe. I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I will always break you off with a slice of knowledge. Talk to y'all later. Bye.